Another episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter, where today is part 2 of sighting in, or say recite, of the Carbon Express Piledriver 390 with the Luminex speed dial, and that is a 1.5 to 5 times 32 scope. So that said, let's get started with today's show. Okay, before we get started with today's show, remember, hit that subscribe button right down there, right down below. Go ahead and hit it right now. Get it out of the way. And hit that thumbs up at the same time and ring that bell so you know when new episodes are coming along your way. So, let's get back to the show. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter. Thanks for joining me today. So, like I said, this is part 2 of recite of the Carbon Express with the Luminex speed dial. So I ran into some minor issues, so I had it all sighted at 20 yards. I moved back to 40 and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all with the sighting in. So I was using that triangle that they have in there, and I don't know why that triangle is exactly in there. So that's what I was using at 20 yards. So when I went back to 40 and used the 40 yard marker, I was way off. Okay. So I reconfigured, went to my 20 yard dot, and resighted at 20 yards. I went back to 30 yards, and where I'm sitting at now, kind of. I did it, and boom, right in. I went back to 40 yards, boom, perfect. So everything was perfect with the scope and the sighting in. So I used the dots, the 20, the 30, and the 40 yard dots. Everything was perfect. Made me very, very happy. So what I did, I had this down to 330 initially when I was back at my 40 yard marker, and I cranked it all the way up and still same results. So that's when I decided I'm reconfiguring this whole thing. So when I moved back up to 20 yards, I put it at 390, which this bow was rated at 390. Okay, so I got it sighted in at my 20 yard marker, and then I moved back to the 40 yard marker, and like I said, boom, it was done. And then I moved up to 30 yards, and still perfect. I didn't have to adjust nothing whatsoever. I didn't even have to fine tune my rider or my windage or my elevation. Didn't have to fine tune that at all at 30 yards. Usually they say at 30 yards you might have to fine tune it. I didn't have to. So my speed ring is set at 390 and didn't have to change anything. So that made me very happy. The only thing I got to do now, eventually, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do it. I'll have to get out my broadheads and sight those in with this setup, but I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it. I'm in no rush right now. I'm still waiting on the weather to change. I got a little bit of cloud cover today, not much. The sun was out pretty good here a little while ago, and it got a little hot. Not a lot. Last time I checked my phone for the temperature, it was like about 54 degrees. Sitting on the sun at 54 degrees, that can get a little warm. So, but anyways, I got a little bit of cloud cover coming in. I don't know if that's going to keep coming in or going out or whatever. I don't know. Nothing in the forecast for the next few days. No snow, no rain, no nothing. But we need snow. But anyways, getting back to the sighting. So again, I was really happy with the way it sighted in. Like I said, it's at 20, 30, and 40 yards, perfect. Bullseye. When I say bullseye, I mean you got the black, on my bag down there. It has, the black ring, the red ring, and the black ring again, and I'm within the black ring, slightly out to the red just a little bit, but that's a kill shot, okay, especially with a broadhead. Perfect kill shot. So yeah, I'm very happy now that I figured this out, because there's really not a lot of videos out there yet on the Luminex Killer Instinct speed dial. Very few. So my suggestion is these are great scopes. Nothing wrong with the scopes. In my opinion, don't use the triangle. Okay, use the dots. 20, 30, and 40 yard dots. Okay, because they say, sight it in at 20, move back to 40, and adjust your speed ring if necessary, and then come back up to 30. Everything should be perfect. At 30 yards, like they said, they might have to adjust the windage and elevation just a little bit, not much, but I didn't have to. So that is my suggestion with the speed dial. Set it at your bow speed, not your arrow speed, but your bow speed, and go from there. Because at 40 yards, you're only to adjust the speed ring. That's it. If it's low, you bring it up. If it's high, you bring it down. Your speed on your speed ring. And at 30 yards, like I said, you come in at 30 yards, and you only should just adjust your windage and elevation, just a little bit. But I didn't have to, and that makes me very happy, like I said. So with that said, let's come right back with some final thoughts. So we're back with some final thoughts. So again, I was going to reiterate, if I said that right, the things I said earlier about the scope. Don't use the triangle at the top. Use your 20, 30, and 40 yard marker in your scope. Sight it in at 20, go back to 40, use your 40 yard reticle, then come back in at your 30 yard reticle. At 40, again, you're just going to adjust your speed ring a little bit, and at 30 yards, you're just going to adjust your windage and elevation. It should be just a little bit, if necessary. Okay. My opinion, as long as you're within the kill range, if you don't feel like you need to change it. Now, again, shooting with field tips is going to be a lot different than shooting with your broadheads. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you're probably going to have to readjust your sight for your broadheads. Okay, which might be a little different. It might shoot a little bit different. So just to readjust for that. Practice with these, by all means, but sight, and keep practicing with these. But when it comes time, like a few days before season, whether you're going deer hunting, elk hunting, bear hunting, turkey hunting, whatever your hunt is, go out a few days before season, sight in your broadheads, so they're nice and good and tight. Okay, because you might want to make those a little bit of tighter group. But again, that's going to be your preference. Me, as long as I'm within a half an inch of the shot, maybe an inch, I'm good. Okay, because it's still going to be a good ethical shot with a broadhead. Okay, so with that said, family comes first. Take care of your family. And remember, get out there and hunt, and see you on the next episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter.